So this was building your parachute on the way down, 110%. We had no clue how we were going to finance it. When I started in this a couple of years ago, I had no clue how to crunch numbers in real estate. All I knew is numbers are really fun. In a lot of our creative financing, we've used second position debt. And we used what's called a convertible note, which is how we've collateralized some of our second position debt. That's also where we got creative. We couldn't qualify for the loan. So it's going to be a debt financing similar to like a private lender. That was going to be 100% of the financing. And 10 days before closing, our second position lender, we had a verbal committal. And about 10 days before closing, they ended up placing their money elsewhere.
Wow.
I don't know if my wife even saw me that week. One of the very last people I talked to, I explained what had happened. I explained the whole situation. And he actually said, hey, don't take money from a bank. I'll finance the whole deal for you. First, when I walked out of his office, I thought he was joking. I have to be truthful. We did put money down. We did put $100 down on the contract. So
$100.
I made a list of 20 people that were doing what I wanted to do in Salt Lake. And I reached out to every single one of them and said, hey, I'll buy you lunch. And I'm willing to work for you for free.
I mean, even in the Rich Dad, Poor Dad book, he tries to teach people to work for free so that way they can grow faster. I would be willing to work for free to learn the things that you learned.
And we negotiated a seller finance deal with them. And I got my investors to come in and float the down payment.
Okay, so let's stop right there. I want to know what you said to get them to seller finance. A lot of people say that seller finance is better for the seller than it is for the buyer.
We were able to say, look, we can only pay you this much now, but look, we'll give you interest on your seller finance. I started to understand the situation that the actual family was in, and they didn't want the money. This was a debt that had certain elements of equity mixed in.
Okay, let's go into that. I mean, this is fun.
So we, over the next year and a half, we helped the city hand draft an ordinance for multifamily.
You have now moved into multifamily syndication starting at the 506c level.
When you start buying bigger stuff, it becomes a lot more about relationships and creating systems. I'll say this publicly so that people can hold us to it. Our goal in 2020 is to take down $40 million worth of real estate, through the process of 506B and C syndications and joint ventures. Have existing cash flow day one.